All right, first up today are the South Carolina Gamecocks, represented by head coach Don Staley and student athletes Chloe Kitts and Tahina Paopao. Coach, if you would please make an opening statement.
Just want to say congratulations to Indiana for making it to the second round and giving us a hard-fought game. We knew coming in it would be very similar to the basketball that was displayed out there for the last 2 hours. Proud of our team, the way they gutted up and didn't flinch. It wasn't pretty, but at this time, it doesn't have to be. You just got to score more points than the other team and work the kinks out as we advance into the tournament.
Opening up for questions just for the student athletes. Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll start with David on the right.
Powell, 4 blocks today. Just where'd that come from? Just did you think the team really needed it at that point? Just kind of take us through that if you could.
Yeah, y'all see that. But not really proud of myself. I had more blocks and threes today, but that's okay. I thought today was more of a defensive mindset for myself. The scouting report was, she's a really good player, so I didn't want to let my team down. And so I'm part of the seatbelt gang now, so I'm really proud of that as well. And I just got to carry that defensive mindset throughout the tournament as well.
Let's go to Pete in the third row.
For both Chloe and Powell, what happened in the first half, and how did you guys turn the switch in the third quarter?
Tina, take that first, please.
The first half, I feel like we were overthinking a lot of things. We weren't keeping it simple, and I feel like when we keep things simple and do what we do, we play great basketball. And we were rushing a lot of shots, and we weren't locked in on making layups today. And, in the halftime, we told each other that we're good. Just keep it simple, make layups, and find the open person.
Chloe?
Yeah, exactly what she said. I mean, we were all just missing our easy layups, and there wasn't really flow in the game. And then second half, we turned it around.
Oh, and getting stops as well. Very key.
Other questions? Let's go back to the left.
Hey guys, looking ahead to the Sweet 16, how are you guys planning to attack that process of just getting prepared, especially with a few days off? Is there anything specific you guys want to work on in film or practice?
Chloe?
We have 1 day off, so we don't have a few. So, we're just going to watch our film and do what the coaches say for our scout. We're all super excited, and we know we need to take one game at a time.
Tina?
What Chloe said, we're going to take tomorrow off, I think. I don't know. I'm assuming. But we just got to get our minds right, get our bodies right. We got to rest and recover. It's going to be a long stretch for us. So we just got to be prepared, be disciplined, and get ready for our next game.
Let's go ahead, David.
If both of you could take this. Just when you said you talked about yourself at halftime, was there one person who said something? Was it a group effort? Just who really spoke up at that point?
Tina?
Good luck with that answer.
Me.
Okay.
No, it was me. I just told the team, hey, we got to keep it simple. I think we were second-guessing ourselves, and we play team basketball. We play great basketball, and it's really fun to play great basketball. And, Coach says good basketball is going to reward you, and that's what happened coming out of the third quarter. So that's the mindset. We just got to keep it simple and do what we do.
Chloe?
Powell just calmed us down. Exactly what she said.
Lulu, in front.
Question for each of you. One, Chloe, what does it look like when Pau does calm everybody down? Is it kind of vocal? Is it just walk me through what that is like?
She's became more vocal over time, but I feel like just her presence calms us down, like when she's in the game with us. Just playing with her, I just feel so much more calm out there. And I've talked to a couple of my teammates, and we all kind of feel the same.
And Pau, for you, you've talked about kind of the emotions of obviously you knew this was going to be your last game in CLA regardless. I guess how, when you're down fighting back versus when you hit that 3 with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, just the wave of emotions, is it trying to stay steady or is it you allow yourself to kind of go up in those moments?
You just got to stay calm and be consistent. You can't go too high with the highs and too low with the lows. And when you got a team like us, they trust you, they have confidence in you. And when you play for, Coach, she does a really good job with that and putting your trust in you. And so, shout out to the fams. Y'all made my experience here so much fun. Super blessed, and it's been a fun experience so far.
Other questions? Joe?
Tahina, just kind of following up on this, this was your last game at Colonial Life Arena. Walk me through those emotions and what it was like playing for the Fams one last time.
It was fun. When we had that stretch in the third quarter, it was so loud, and just being able to play in, fans like that is just makes the experience even more better. And I cherish the moments that we had today, and I'm just super proud of our team, and just we just got to keep it pushing. And shout out to the Fams for always showing support and love.
Other questions? Anyone? No? All right, you all can go. Thank you. Congratulations. Take questions now for Coach Staley. Start with David.
Don, you mentioned the good luck with the voice in the huddle. What do you mean by that? Is there one player as a group effort to talk to them in those moments?
Well, they just told me, Powell, calm them down, but I'm sure it was amongst 9 to 10 other voices talking. So it's just a daycare. That's what I'm referencing. It's not like a board meeting where there's one person talking at a time. It is chaos. So I was glad to see they actually stopped to listen to her, because what she says is coming from being an experienced player that's been through this process, and we need her voice.
Pete?
Dawn, how did you feel about that first half, and were you sure they would find their stride in the third quarter?
Yes, I mean it's a little unnerving because it's not how you envision execution. I thought we were getting great looks, they just wouldn't fall. So for us is if we're going to get the same type of looks, we're probably going to be in good shape, because we're not going to, Chloe and Fagan aren't going to be. I think they were 0 for 10, 0 for. And then I think Joyce made one layup, and that was off of a broken play. Lay got a steal and tossed it back to her. And she made we're a very efficient post group of bigs. So sooner or later, somebody's going to get on course to do what they normally do. I think we settled in. I think our defense got a lot better in the third quarter and afforded us a lead to the point where we just held on and got the win.
Lou?
Powell, her defense today, what did you think of those 4 blocks and stepping up, especially in the first half there?
Powell's defense was great. It was executed to a T. That young lady, I don't want to butcher her last name. We just call her Shay. So O'Shea does a really good job going left. She is unconscious going left. She is super efficient. And Powell just sat on her left hand, forced her right. She did get, I think she got 12 points. But she would have gotten a lot more if she got into the flow of going left. So I thought she did a great job. We told her that in the locker room. And I'm happy that we're helping to complete Powell, because for the longest her reputation is she can just flat out shoot the ball. She's a consummate point guard, and I don't think her defense gets enough credit in the past 2 years that she's been with us, because it's gotten better and better and better, and then she had performances like she did today.
Joe?
Coach, you saw a lot of poise from your veterans. Talk to me about how big that is, especially in this time of year.
It's huge. We have to lean on, we got to lean on our most experienced players. They've been here before. They've done it time and time again through being on the court or just, seeing it from sitting on the bench. That is experience being in these situations. And I really don't want to, this is not, we don't take any of this for granted. We didn't think we were just going to walk over to opponents in the first and second round, but getting to a Sweet 16 is hard. It's hard, and to do it in as many consecutive years that we've done it, it doesn't get old. It's not taken for granted, and we cherish the opportunity to move to the second weekend in the NCAA tournament.
Your third row?
Hey, Coach. What have you found is the best process for getting your players and your coaching staff ready from round to round of the NCAA tournament?
From where?
From round to
Round to
round.
round?
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's really important to balance the rest part of it, balance the active recovery, balance the film sessions, and balance really how much the players are locked in. I mean, we read the room when it comes to them. If they're focused in, our time on the court is probably cut in half. If they're not, we'll probably have more film sessions. I think we did one drill yesterday where we just went up and down. It was at the very beginning. It's a conditioning drill that we do every day before a game. And then everything else was just half court, just making sure that we're able to execute what we need to execute. They are a fine oil machine. They run their stuff. They execute it. They got you working on both sides of the court when we're on defense. Just well-rounded and calculated and deliberate in what they want to do. So they're exhausted. I know our players are exhausted, but it takes that to beat a team like Indiana.
Front row, Lulu.
Going back to what you said about Pau's defense, could you just provide some maybe behind-the-scenes perspective of how she's developed the last 2 years with it specifically? Because a lot of it is what we see on the court.
I mean, it's developed over the past 2 years, probably from her being targeted. They go after her. They put her in ball screen actions. They target her to be able to defend. They wear her out so her shot isn't as fluid, in the third and fourth quarters. And then you get tired of hearing that because we'll tell you, hey, Pau, you're up. They're coming after you. And you hear it over and over again. And then we give her ways in which, you can decrease the amount of times that people are getting what they want on the floor. So she's taking heed to just getting better. I mean, we're a culture of playing defense, and if you don't play it, you stick out. And Pau's not one that wants to stick out in that way.
Other questions? Got one standing there.
Hey, Coach, the players were talking a little earlier about the atmosphere from the fans. At the send-off today, I talked to one lady who's from Florida who has season tickets, who comes for every game, people who came from North Carolina, people who came from Georgia. What do you want to say about the commitment? They talked a little bit about the controversy in Greenville about possibly, wanting to move to a quote-unquote neutral location, and their point today was fans will travel from outer space, Paris, wherever, but the atmosphere that they created today is what I really want you to address.
I mean, it's like no other, like the unity that's created in this building, and, we do take that act on the road. It's quite incredible. Like, it's overwhelming. It's so much. It's so good that, trying to describe it does it a disservice. But they were loud in that third quarter. They had the energy. They were trying to force us into playing to our habits, even in the first quarter and the second quarter. What we've been able to do, it's not you can't look into a marketing scheme because it's not that. It really is. If it's that easy, everybody would be doing it. We would bottle it up and we would sell it to the next, basketball program, but it is them creating it, them buying. You'll hear a season ticket holder buying 10 other season tickets to bring other people in, and those other 10 will buy what will become season ticket holders, and it's just a trickle down effect to the point where this is really the place to be when it comes to women's basketball. It's entertainment. It's developing and creating friendships. It is unified. I mean, you look into our arena, and you can see every seat filled, and it's of every background, like every single ethnic background. I mean, I think that is probably, we've won national championships, but I would say that we've been champions in uniting people, and that is super proud. Like that's the thing that I'm most proud of. That's the thing that's kept me here for 17 years. To walk away from what we've built here would be extremely hard, like extremely hard. And I think it's unmatched.
Pete?
Thanks, Judy.
Don, you talked about all your players at halftime chattering to be heard and make sure they get their voices there. That was a lot of what we heard last year when maybe they didn't know what they didn't know yet on the way. Is it that same, do they have that same quality, or is there a little more harder edge because they are defending national champions?
Yeah, I mean, some of it makes sense now. It does. Like, some of it is things that we really have to do to lock in on getting a win. Like, there are things that they discuss that create separation for us, or there are things that we're doing positively that we must continue to do. So you'll hear that, but you still hear like 13 voices talking at the same time, and they've probably conditioned themselves to be able to compartmentalize and just hear everything and know the gist of, you know, what the chaos is. But it sounds like chaos to us.
Last question will go to a Zoom called Zeph Toe. Seth?
Don, Indiana's a program that's been close to your level in recent years. #1 seed a few years ago, obviously pushed your team the last couple of years. From your perspective, what do you feel like has kind of kept them from taking that next step? Is it more just rolls of the dice, luck of the draw, or do you see something bigger, a bigger difference between a program like theirs and a program like yours?
I mean, Terry can coach. Like, she can really coach. She does a really great job at getting her players to play to their strengths. Obviously, some of it is luck, some of it is matchups. Like, it really is when it comes to the NCAA tournament. So I think you just have to keep plugging. She's got the talent. She's got, you know, the assistant coaches pool of people. You know, I mean, you just got to get lucky. Just got to get lucky.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. What'd you have? What'd you have?
Thank you, Coach. Let's go. Thank you so much, Coach. The last time you were down at halftime was that loss to UConn in February. I know you and Tahina already touched on it a little bit, but what was different this time in the locker room to pull you guys back in the game? Did you even need to say anything? Was it just a look, or was that just entirely player-led?
You know, I think when we're down at halftime, which is not very often, you know, you want to keep the same energy that you have when you're up. You know, they know, like, they really know. We got an experienced group of players that really know what needs to take place in order for us to correct what was going on out there. You know, part of it was just we missed good shots. Part of it was we missed bad shots. Part of it was, you know, our defense wasn't hitting on all cylinders. But over time, like that, the game is 40 minutes. I think within that time frame, we can get to our good habits. And we did that coming out of halftime in the third quarter. We got a chance to get Chloe on the floor, keep her on the floor a little bit longer than we did in the first half. She actually, when she got her second foul, she's like, I was ball pressuring. Well, you were not only ball pressuring, you were fouling. Like, stay in the game, Chloe. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
She probably won't agree with you at all. She won't agree with you at all.
She won't. Or the official. We got that in common.
Athletes Chloe Moore McNeil and Sydney Parrish. Chloe obviously likes to sit closer to me, apparently. Appreciate that. Coach, if you would, please make an opening statement.
Well, congratulations to South Carolina. Terrific team, and we'll be cheering for them as they move forward and advance. Outstanding crowd. This is the first time we've been here. At least I've been here. So, it's a tough place to play. They make it a tough environment. So, but it's great for women's basketball. So we are grateful for that. Proud of our group. We're disappointed. I thought we did a great job defensively. We wanted it to be a low possession game. I thought we came out and really did a great job. This is a team that averages over 80 points. We held them to, the 64. They averaged 40 points in the paint. We kept them about, I think, 10 below their average. 13 second chance points. We just gave them 5 tonight. It was the third quarter that kind of did us in. 14 points. I think they scored in the paint in the third. We had 5 turnovers. Just costly. Coming out of halftime. And other than that, the first, second, fourth quarter, we were right there. So if we could have any do-overs, it would have been that third quarter. I think, maybe we could have got the outcome that we wanted. But really grateful, for our effort from our team. Really proud of them. Love these 2 that are up here with me that, represent Indiana. And like I said, we're disappointed, but as I said to them, there's a legacy that these 2 are going to, they've created at Indiana, and not a lot of kids can say that. I know the portal opens tomorrow, and a lot of these kids are going to be hopping around, doing different things. But Sid and Chloe have won a lot of games at Indiana. They've won a Big Ten championship. And have put us in positions, during March that have been really special. And there's no doubt that the 2 of these guys have left a legacy at Indiana. And that's really all you want out of your career. So very proud of them.
Open up for questions just for the student athletes at this time. If you would, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. And we'll start with Pete Acabelli in the Associated Press.
Yeah, Chloe, that third quarter, was it more what they started to do, or was it something that you guys did not do that you were doing earlier in the game?
I think it was a mixture of both. Obviously they're the #1 team in the country in terms of transition offense and capitalizing on people's turnovers. I think, they did have pressure on us at times, but at the same time, I think we did have some careless mistakes.
Let's go to the 4th row right there on the left.
Chloe, you had it going in the first half, and, it seemed like you were giving them trouble. When that third quarter came, did you feel like you wanted to get your team more involved, or what was your thinking in that third quarter?
Yeah, I think it was just me just naturally making reads what the defense was doing. And it was, like you said, more so getting my teammates going because that's what they were giving me.
Let's come up to the way to the front here.
For either of you, what was the difference in the way the game played out? Last year, obviously, a big focus was the inside with Holmes and Cardoso. This year, neither team had exactly, that focus in the post. So how different was this type of game, being a faster pace that was more based on, the guards?
Cindy, you want to take that first?
Yeah, we tried to emphasize, not thinking about last year, being present in the moment. And so, like we said, both teams were very different from last year to this year. And just trying to be where our feet are, be in the moment. It's a different team. It's a different year.
Chloe?
I mean, we definitely had last year in the back of our heads. But like Sydney said, just trying to stay in the moment and stay present.
Let's go way over to the right. Second row.
Chloe, when you look back at your career here, what do you remember the most about your time?
I'm not going to remember any of the stats, any of that. I think I'm going to remember the special moments with my team. When it started my freshman year, being Elite Eight, now just being here at South Carolina, a great arena, and even winning the Big Ten tournament and making those deep runs.
with the second row.
Over the course of the year, you've hung in there with some of the top teams in the country. You beat Ohio State as well. What does the fight of your team say about your group, and what legacy do you want that to be?
Chloe, you want to take that first?
Yeah, I think every single one of us take pride in wearing Indiana across our chest. Obviously, Coach Moren has turned this program around and built it from the ground up, and we've created a great fan base here.
Sydney?
Yeah, well, we go back to think of how kind of up and down the year was, but like you said, we competed with some of the top teams in the country, and that says a lot about our group, and we just stuck together. It's hard, you know, to stick together when times get hard, but I think we showed that a couple times this year.
Other questions? Go ahead, third row.
Yeah, just for both of you, after these, 3 or 5 years, just what are your plans post-college?
Sydney?
I'm hoping to keep playing, whether that's in the W, that'd be great, and potentially overseas. And if that doesn't go the way I want, hopefully I can get a job in the sports media field, whether that's analyst or broadcasting or sitting right where you guys are.
Chloe?
Yeah, same here. I hope to be lucky enough to continue my basketball career, but if not, you always have to have a plan B, and that's continuing schooling and ultrasound technician.
Let's go to the left.
With the portal opening tomorrow, I guess kind of what would you say to prospective recruits that are looking at Indiana?
Chloe, you want to take that first?
Yeah, when you come here, you got to expect to work hard every single day. Nothing's going to come easy, but also it's the culture piece as well. You got to put others first and be willing to play team basketball and give up a good shot for a great shot.
Sydney?
Yeah, just going off of Chloe, she kind of hit the nail on the head there. Work hard every day. If you don't want to work hard, then it's not the place for you. And if you want to play in March Madness, you come to Indiana. And I think Coach Moren has made that a huge deal here. But it takes hard work, and it takes showing up every single day. And if you want to play for somebody like Coach Moren, you come to Indiana. And I think she's shown how she's built this program, like Chloe said, from the ground up, and has made greats. You know, think of Grace Berger, the Mackenzie Holmes, the Chloe Moore McNeil. Those are 3 names nobody knew who they were in high school. Nobody, right, Chloe? Like, nobody knew who they were in high school. And they came and took a chance on Indiana, and they're pros now.
Let's go here in the second row.
Obviously, you both have, very close relationships with Terry, but what do you guys value the most about playing under her for the past couple seasons?
Sydney?
That she wants to win for us. She puts the team first. She puts her players first. She is a players coach. She's really receptive of us in practice. She kind of lets the leaders take control in practice sometimes as well, and she trusts us. And I think that's huge coming from a head coach, and just so grateful that she takes chances on kids in the portal, kids not in the portal, and she just wants to win at all cost. And it's just so special to look over to the sideline sometimes after you airball 3 and she's clapping her hands, even though she's probably not thinking that. She's always instilling confidence in you no matter what the situation is, and that's huge. And that just makes someone with maybe not as much confidence go out and play as hard as they can.
Sydney?
Yeah, I agree with Sydney. The confidence she has with us, she's behind us 10 toes down, and I'm just grateful she gave me another chance to come back for my 5th year.
Let's go to Seth Toe on Zoom. Seth?
Yeah, I guess I'll direct this to Sydney, but really can be either of you. I guess, seeing everything experiencing everything you have the last few years and seeing what's, the younger players on the roster, the players coming in, just, I guess, what's your confidence level in the program kind of sustaining what's been built the next few years, just with everything that's still there and everything that's to come?
Yeah, I don't know if people thought we'd be in this situation after losing Sarah and Mackenzie last year. And I think that you just have, with the transfer portal now, people come and go really quickly, so it takes a while sometimes to build teams. But I think it shows our year to year. I think we've made the NCAA tournament 4 years in a row now. And I think it just shows how Indiana keeps building. They lose good players, but you keep building and keep building. So I have a lot of confidence in the team next year and the team's years to come. And I think that starts with our head coach and our coaching staff, bringing in the right people.
Chloe, do you want to? Yeah. All right. Thank you, y'all. You can go. Appreciate it.
Good job, you guys. Thank you.
Take questions now for Coach Moren. We'll start with Pete.
Hey, Terry, you'd mentioned that third quarter.
Right.
Was it more about South Carolina finding another gear, or were there things that you guys did not do that you were doing earlier in the game?
I think it was probably a little bit of both. I wasn't in Dawn's halftime, but I would imagine she, it might have been a little spirited in there. And, she probably got after them a little bit, that they needed to pick it up, because I think Chloe alluded to it. That's kind of how it felt, that their intensity did pick up. So some of it was them. Some of it was careless mistakes, just not taking care of the ball the way we needed to. And so, like I said, I think it was a combination of the two things. But you can't do that against a team like South Carolina. You gotta hang with them each quarter, that was what's again has been disappointing. That's disappointing, right? That we didn't come out with the same sort of focus, probably ability to take care of the ball that we needed to, knowing that they were going to come out with more intensity.
Let's go to the third row on the left.
When Sydney and Chloe are sitting up there talking about how much they love playing for you and for Indiana, what does that kind of make you feel?
Oh, well, it's it always feels good. None of us feel good right now, but but it goes far deeper than just me. I have a terrific staff that pours into these players every single day, and excellent support from the top, from Pam Winton to Scott Dolson, to the support staff that we have that care about women's basketball, that support women's basketball, and so it means a lot. But it's like I said, I'm most proud of how what they're leaving behind, right? Those saying you want to leave it better than you found it. It was in pretty good shape, right? Now, not maybe for Sid a little bit better shape. Chloe helped with the build, the climb, and like I said, they're going to be able to walk away from here and feel good about what they did in their time in Indiana, and that's probably what I'm most proud of.
Here in the front.
Terry, you mentioned the portal opening tomorrow. When you look at just losing 3 seniors now, just how do you plan to address maybe some of the holes that have now been created in your roster from that?
Well, I think we're going to have a lot of holes to fill. I think with the portal opening, I think there's going to be a lot of schools out there that are going to have some holes to fill, and we'll go back. This is and trust me, we've already sort of been in the process of kind of figuring out what we feel like those holes are going to be, and addressing those, and then like the rest of the country, everybody will be in the portal. So, but for us, it's going to be real important because we don't go into the portal. We're very careful. I think you guys, you followed us. You know that we there's certain types of players that have to fit Indiana in the way we do things, in our program, and we'll have to address those and find out. But I think we'll have probably several holes to fill.
Go stay in the third row, right? Go ahead.
Coach, I'll ask you the same question I asked Sydney and Chloe. You've hung in there with top teams in the country. You beat Ohio State as well. All year long, you've been competitive. What does that say about the fight of your team, and what does that say about your team in general?
Well, again, it always goes back to making sure that we're recruiting winners, right? They're coming from places where they've won. They're competitive. They love to work. They love to be a part of the process. And, Chloe said it, if you're going to come here, you're going to be about the team. It's the team, the team, the team. It's not about you when you come to Indiana. Now, we're going to help you. We're going to help you with your player development. We're going to help you thrive in our culture and in our, whether it's defensively, offensively. You leave Indiana a better player. We will always, and again, I talked about the standards the other day. There's a certain standard that we're going to live up to, and from the best player to the player that may not see a lot of tick time, eventually they will. You got to stick with the process. That's why I'm so proud of Chloe. Those Chloes are gone. They're not staying 4 years. They're not staying 5 years, and so she's somebody that you write about as far as sticking with the process. Being loyal. I think that's real important.
Let's go here in the second row.
Terry, you made a comment yesterday about you and your staff kind of learning throughout the season.
Yeah.
Now that it's come to an end, what are some of the biggest things you've learned this year, and some of the biggest things you can take away from this season? Well,
again, I think some of the things you learn is that we have to make sure we have the right pieces in our program, and so, I think that's where it starts. We will always be a team that is going to play a certain way. We will always hang our hat on the defensive side of the ball. That's just what I believe. I get it. We got to score, but there's just certain things that, in the way that we've built this, we've really, been the gritty, the tough, no nonsense, team, and so. Being able to find those kinds of kids, right, that are going to come in and want to be a part of something that's going to be hard every day, right? Because winning is hard, and I say that a lot around Cook Hall, and so, I know that we're going to have a lot of work to do as we push ahead and we lose the kids that we lose, and they were so instrumental. It has been, a season of change, but it's also, I think, made me a better coach. I think it's made our staff a better staff, it's we move forward, from here and find the players that are going to thrive in our environment, thrive in our culture, and look forward to what's next.
In the front row right here.
Coach, while this didn't quite reach the levels of the last few seasons, in some ways, is it more critical to show you can win, without an all-time great like Grace Berger and Mackenzie Holmes? A lot of teams, especially I've come to mind at IU, where they've maintained a lot of winning. It wasn't necessarily the season with the legend, but the season after that they were able to keep winning that made it go forward. So is that more critical this year to have the season you did to show you can continue to win at a high level regardless of who's here and it's bigger than the program?
Well, again, I think my players are pretty dang good, and you alluded to some of those greats, but we have some really good players, that are on this team now, that will, that will go out and will recruit. We're excited about the ones that are coming in to join us, it's. Like I said, the standards are the standards. They're not going to change what we're going to do. We want to continue to win at a high level. We want to continue to be a part of March Madness, and it's hard. You just have to you have to find the right kinds of kids, that want to be a part of the grind and the climb every single day. But it is still the team. Like, yes, would you like to have 5 All-Americans? No doubt. 2 All-Americans, okay, that'd be great too. But we're going to recruit the kids that fit us. That's the most important thing to me. The wins, the success are important, yes. But there's another piece to this, that we're developing student athletes and we're preparing them, for life after Indiana. And there's still student athletes that want that, right? They want to come in, they want to have success, they want to play in March Madness, but they want a great degree, from a great institution like Indiana.
Second row.
Coach, it seems like everywhere that Indiana has traveled this year, the fans have followed, not just at Assembly Hall. What's your message to Hoosier fans that have gone on the road, especially in environments like these where they're outmatched, but they're still very vocal?
Yeah. I appreciate that question because that's so important. And I was remiss in probably talking about the crowd here at South Carolina, but also I should have included Hoosier Nation. Again, it's what we've built, at Indiana, with our fans, our women's basketball fans that show up night in and night out, for our players and our program. And they make Simon Scott Assembly Hall a very difficult place to win. They give us energy, they give us great juice, and we're so grateful, right? Whether they're in the hall or whether they travel to Columbia, South Carolina. So again, I appreciate that question.
We have 2 questions via Zoom. Todd Golden, go ahead.
Hey, Terry, kind of flowing along with some of the things you've already said about your principles and your standards for who you want to bring in, and also the reality of the portal. What do you look at in terms of how you match that to what you may need X's and O's wise? Are there any traits that you're looking for that maybe, that you wished you had this year? How do you kind of view that?
Well, again, I think with the addition of the 4 new teams, from the West Coast, there's no doubt, when I look at our team, we're going to have to get bigger. We'd like to get more athletic, for sure. But, the intangible things are still, really important to me, and that's the high character piece. That's being about the team, not being about myself or yourself, or, we want competitors. We want kids that want to come in and work every single day, and, the willingness and the commitment that our staff has in pouring into those players and helping them develop, as players. Is off the charts. And so, we'll continue with that recipe because I feel like it has worked for us. But as the game has grown and continues to grow, we're going to have to grow with it. And, so those are things that, in my mind, that come to me, right, Todd, that in terms of what our team, the direction that our team needs to go in.
The last question goes to Seth Tope.
Hey, Terry. First off, always appreciate how earnest you are in moments like these. But big picture, obviously, you've been to the Elite Eight, you've been to 3 Sweet 16s, you won a Big Ten title. I guess when it comes to taking that next step as a program, do you feel like it kind of comes down to the rolls of the dice, how the bracket plays out, a couple bounces here and there, things like that? Or is there anything kind of you feel like you need to change or adjust about your program to kind of get you to that next level?
Well, there's no doubt that it comes down to matchups, I think I got asked a couple days ago about the playing at home, and I had to be really careful because I've had the luxury of playing at home and how important that is. But going to neutral sites, would that help? Would that, the parity is so great right now, does that matter? And I think it does. I think we got to get to a point where we sort of mirror what the guys do and have those neutral sites because matchups matter, but home court advantage matters. And again, I've been a recipient, I've been on the other side of this where kids or players have had to come in, teams have had to come into Simon Scott Assembly Hall and play in such a, daunting place with our fans. And so I think, that's going to be something that I may change, as we move forward with women's basketball. But, there's going to be other things, Seth, that are going to have to change inside of our program. And, we'll address those, as we leave here. And but I don't want to get lost in, and take anything away from the achievements that, especially this year, because this year was tough. And again, you don't replace an All-American. You don't replace somebody like Sarah Scallion. You think you're going to be the same team. It just doesn't. It doesn't happen. So I'm really, really grateful, really proud of the group that wore the Indiana jersey this year. In spite of all the ups and downs, we still had some really, really special moments, great moments that we will take from this, and hopefully it will serve as motivation as we move forward.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Thanks, Terry.
Oh, shoot.
You want to make sure you get all these?
Yeah, I'll take them. Yep, you got it.